I don't know how I missed the last chapter, but not much happened, right? We knew he was gonna get the death penalty. He got it, and then ended up just getting rid of the curse technique on Kamutoke, right? His Sukuna's cursed object, cursed tool. And at the end, he ended up getting slashed, but it was only the regular slashes, not the actual world-cutting slashes that killed Gojo, right? Also, I think most people realize that it was Kusakabe who jumped in and stopped them from actually killing them, or at least made them a little more shallow with the simple domain. Because obviously that's his whole thing, right? He does the new shadow style simple domain, and so he stopped that. They went over the fact that Judgment can tell the difference between souls inside of a body, inside of the same vessel. Death penalty is only going to affect Sukuna's soul inside of Megami's body, so they don't have to worry about it killing Megami or doing anything to him. So once they one tap him, it's it. Sukuna's cooked, right? There's another thing we saw, which was the cursed tool of Nanami, right? Apparently, the guy with the hood and everything, has his curse technique, has Nanami's curse technique, or rather, the curse technique is inside of the blade, right? It's imbued onto it, which is interesting. That's part of the reason why Ino was so mysterious and so sad and so, I don't know, just thinking about Nanami every time they mention his name, that he would be like, you would see him react to it, right? Do I think that's it? I don't think so. Because yes, okay, he has the curse tool and all that, but I think there's more to it, and there's gonna be probably something else. If not, well then that it's in itself is pretty cool. We know that Nanami continues to live on basically through that. Also, Choso got bodied, blitzed by Sukuna, which also goes to show that the fight of Sukuna against Gojo was at such a high level, right? Like people are like, oh, Gojo got bodied, this and that, or Fraud Kuna, and realistically Fraud Kuna, but it just goes to show how fast these characters are, right? And Gojo was out here 1v1ing, no, 1v3ing against Sukuna and Maharaga and was it the Chimera Beast, right? I forgot Agito, right? And so I don't know, man. Gojo just built different. He really was the strongest, and so he got cut. But again, I always have to insert a little bit of cope here and there. But I think Gojo's coming back, right? Or at the very least, something's I don't know, something might happen. But I digress. Because right now, we saw the new genius around the block. So Higuruma finally pulled up not just simple domain, but domain amplification, right? And it makes sense considering the fact that the way that Higuruma learned about curse techniques and Jujutsu sorcery in general was through his domain and working backwards, while other people learn their technique and try to get a domain, which most people don't. He went backwards. So basically, he has a higher understanding of the higher level of Jujutsu, which is domains. So him being able to figure out amplification, just like, I don't know. Also, I think he mentioned it when they were doing it. He's like, I think I get it. I think I see what they're doing. Either way, that's really all that happened. Again, we'll just have to wait and see for next chapter. Because next chapter, we're going to get some more 1v1 of... Do you think Higuruma's going to kill Sukuna? Like, is he going to tap him? It doesn't sound that hard when you think about it. It's like he just has to hit him once. But I mean, this guy is blitzing everyone. He blitzed Yuji, he blitzed Choso, he blitzed... Well, I guess that's it. But, I mean, I guess he technically blitzed Megumi at the beginning as well. When he stopped his signs as well, when he was fighting him after they left the prison or whatever. So he's fast. Real fast boy. But, Higuruma puts him in a domain expansion again, which actually doesn't sound like a bad idea considering the fact that he probably most definitely has more heinous acts that he committed. Now, they're like, we can't guarantee the death penalty, but they already have it, right? They don't need the death penalty anymore. So as long as they get another conviction for another curse technique removal, it will either get rid of the 10 shadows or cleave and dismantle, right? Or maybe they don't see anything leave, and it's because they took away the open box, whatever thing, the fire arrow, right? Because Kusakabe mentions it, right? He's like, it doesn't really matter, because even if he does still have it and he pulls it out, we're cooked, literally, right? Because it's enough to take out Jogo, and they don't really have anything at the moment, because if Yuta comes in, he might be able to stop it, But outside of that, and no one there can stop it, right? Hopefully, Yuta comes back. Then again, Maki wasn't on the battlefield, which is surprising. So they're either gonna hold her for emergency situations again, or maybe she went with Yuta. That doesn't really make sense because it doesn't seem that Yuta needs any backup right now, especially now that he cut off his head. But maybe she is there, considering the fact that he can't even detect her unless he has visual on her. Either way, she's not at the main fight. I think there was a panel where Kusakabe and Yuji were being sliced, but it didn't seem like he was getting hurt, right? So like right next to him is, like I said, Higuruma or Kusakabe, and they were getting cut, but Yuji wasn't. So that's another interesting thing that I saw. Also, they mentioned that the world cutting slash probably needs a charge up or a binding vow or something to be able to use it again, and so he can't spam it. Okay, that's a good thing, right? And I mean, that would be pretty broken if you just spam that thing like constantly, right? Everyone's dead. But if Higuruma can survive the slashes, I think we just need someone else to hold down Sukuna, and then he just taps him, and it's it. We're done. Because there's no conditions to the executioner's blade, like, right? Like the minute it touches someone, no matter who they are, as long as they have the death penalty, they're dead. But that also made me think about, considering the fact that it differentiates between the souls in the vessel. Could Higuruma pass the sword off to someone else, right? Like, could he hand it over to someone and then they get the kill, just like to help the fight? I wouldn't think it would kill the person, but I also don't think the technique would allow it. But we'll just have to see how they end up fighting. Because no, I was gonna say they could have practiced with the curse technique, but then again, that would insinuate that they got the death penalty of someone. Is there a time limit to the death penalty, or is it just until they kill them? Because technically, Yuji still has the death penalty on him until Higuruma did the retrial and said he's actually innocent, right? And I guess it was transferred over to Sukuna. Even without curse techniques, Sukuna's still going to be a difficult opponent, right? So we can't forget that. Unless they have Yuta come back, but like I said, Kenjaku might be up to something. Either way, I mean, that's pretty much it. Not much happened outside of the domain amplification, the 7/3 technique, and the fact that we kind of are assuming that Sukuna can't use the fire arrow, or the fact that he can only use the world cutting slashes every so often. But sadly, we're on a break again next week. Oh my days, man, keeps taking breaks. But it's fine. Just let him cook, you know. As long as we keep getting quality, it's fine. You know, I guess it doesn't really matter. Either way, thanks for watching. If you have any theories, feel free to put them in the comment section below. If you agree or disagree, again, feel free to let your thoughts be known. Like it if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and make sure to subscribe, because I'll make sure to get the next chapters going, especially because I know they're going to be hype. Right now we're back into it. It's probably going to be quite a few chapters of this fight, but we'll have to see. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.